God is love. Yes, the Bible says so. 1 John 4:8, just in case you forgot. Well, I thought to myself, finding him would mean finding love. Thinking, because he had God, then you'll probably be able to love. Having in mind the apostles' words, do not be unequally yoked. I was sure I wasn't going to get a heathen for a life partner, so I waited. In my wait, I worked on bettering myself so I could easily be spotted by the one. Fast forward, there he was, shining brighter than the sun. Yes, I was sure he was the one. He both reflected and represented the sun. Not only was he born again, man, he preached it. The gospel never left his mouth. I was convinced he lived it.
You have to believe me, it was more than just a dream come true. Something they all said could never happen, and so he was completely abolished from the blue. Each time I talked about it, they said it was but a mere fantasy, calling me a pop. Yet though they could hardly believe it, my dream guy had just showed up. 4 months into our friendship, he asked if we could be more than just friends. You really have to believe me, I hardly had second thoughts when I said yes. Now I wish I had thought twice before making that decision, this I have to confess. In the months I had known him, the future seemed really promising. I was more than ready to embark on a journey with him, marriage being our destination. God had my prayers answered. This must be the guy I'd been praying for, I thought, with great expectation. Please help us, sister. What do I do now? Like Nditani Guys. Perhaps I should have kept them both pewed, my 2 eyes. I should have probably considered the possibility of betrayal. You're right, shouldn't have fallen head over heels. A thought that is continuously playing on my mind. God knows how broken this heart is. The confusion is overwhelming. I'm honestly losing my mind. Where does one even start from, sis? I mean, just how exactly do you explain this? 2 babies in a space of just 2 years? 2 babies from 2 different ladies? How do you even explain that? I guess life is really just a bowl of cherries.
For once, I had honestly felt real love. I thought this was home. It really felt like true love. Like Nditani Guys, being in my shoes, what would you have done? I was sure he was going to lead me, so I made him part of my life. I never doubted it when I drew him closer to my heart. I thought I was safe. Thinking I had finally met a guy who was going to walk me down the aisle, taking me before the preacher, and vow to love me alone till death do us part. The father of my kids, someone to help me build a dream home, I thought. Thinking we'd together fulfill our destinies and win souls for God's kingdom. That's what ran in my mind. I guess experience really is the father of all wisdom. My head is now getting used to these headaches. Maybe I wasn't just enough for him. I simply never had what it takes. Did I overlook something? Perhaps I did. Did I apply all the principles I had learned? I doubt I did. Maybe that's exactly where I got it all wrong.
Like Nditani Guys, being in my shoes, what would you have done? Knowing the guy you thought loved and cherished you had been sleeping around. Like Nditani Guys, imagine yourselves in my shoes. What step would you take next? Knowing 2 different ladies from 2 different cities you often went to minister, mother these kids. I honestly wish someone could have at least prepared me way in advance. All those pictures of us, all the pictures I'd been posting on a daily, all those people who saw us together and concluded would forever live happily. How do I even face the people I convinced God had all my prayers answered? If another Christian guy approaches me, how do I even trust them? I mean, if at all there's still hope for me, how do I approach a new relationship? How sure are you I won't end up being a victim? Like Nditani Guys.